welcome to another episode of Glory of Golden State Gaming. I'm your host, SwampSwimmer, and with me, as always, the Cheech to my Chong, Vespasian.
That's a good one. I like it. Hi, everybody.
Well, welcome to the show. Since I think actually in a few days from our recording, which I don't know when we're going to post this video, but the new Hobgoblin supplemental book is coming out, and I just had a kind of general question for you. Where do you imagine the supplemental books, so that's Makar Raiders, Cultists, Asklanders, and now the Hobgoblins, where do you imagine them fitting into the hobby as far as regular play and also tournament play?
Good question. I think that, undeniably first is that you can come up with a really cool themey list and concept, right? So, Hobgoblins, Makar, right? You get that kind of Mongol, feel to them, I believe is what the project's going for there. Cultists, while the rules I think still have some balancing to do, is so cool, that you can really, the cultists have this rule where they can summon demons onto the table and get possessed by demons and things like that. It just feels very themey, which I think is cool. I think that because most tournaments don't allow them, I think that the project's going to struggle to gather robust data on them, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough to balance them. It'll take a longer time and be more prone to error, right? So I think, like if I was going to run the U.S. Masters, I wouldn't allow supplemental books. But if I was going to run, a cool themed tournament, I would allow them.
I really want. I want these army books to get to the point where they're accepted enough to be run, even in the U.S. Masters. But you're right; it's going to take a while because there needs to be a lot of balancing done. But I think the more books we get, the farther we get from that game that shall not be named, and the more we differentiate ourselves, and the more it becomes a robust game. I'm pushing for in tournaments to run these lists. For instance, in the Infernal Zoo, run by Alex over in Davis, he is running the new giant rules.
Yeah.
The giant summon.
That one I think is probably closer to tournament ready than the full supplemental books, right? In my opinion, I think that giants are a known quantity. Their base rules are all the same, right? Yeah. So it's basically, are you balancing their army specific rules around them properly? I do think that one thing that is a little tough to to understand until you get more data is, what does it mean to bring to have dwarves that don't have monsters have a giant, right? I think that's something that's a little harder to tease out, and until you get more data, you won't see if those kind of lists can overperform, right? But I don't know, that I think that one would probably, I'd call that like a 0.5 supplement book. It's closer to balanced in my opinion.
Fair enough. I agree with you, but I think TOs should really start opening the gates to the supplemental books. But that's just my opinion. I am considering that for the North American Team Championships, which I run in San Francisco. So we'll see. I have no decisions have been made, but I'm considering that.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's jump on to the battle report. Oh, it is game 1 of the Wicked GT in Wichita, Kansas. I flew out there. It was fantastic. Everyone was wonderful. Everyone was very cool about COVID matters, wearing masks, being respectful of distance, admitting if you had the vaccine or not. Primo. The community out there in Wichita is spot on.
I think that's important for the for the hobby as we work our way out of this over the course of the insert time frame here, right? So that's great. Glad to hear it.
So
and I'm jealous. Awesome. I'm looking looking forward to my first one in July.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Joust, which actually I'll announce that right now. I officially bought my flight, and I'm going to the Joust with Vespasian here with Aaron. So it's gonna be
Same here.
we'll have some reports to report on. But
Yeah, that'll be neat. Should be good content for the channel. Anyways, onto your Wicked games.
I ended up playing Brian. I believe he is from the Michigan area, but he recently moved to Kansas City. Brian is a super cool dude, super fun to play. We had a blast our first game. No fighting about rules. I just want to say Brian was a super cool dude. He was playing Ogre Cons. We were playing Frontline Clash with Breakthrough as the secondary. But let's talk about my amazing Skink Gunline list, which I tweaked a little bit from the last battle report. Basically, I took the Ancient Plaque off of the Quaddle, which it seems like a great item, but you don't use it that often, and it's very expensive. It's 75 points.
Which one is that?
That's the reroll 1 casting dice per friendly magic phase.
Oh.
Like, it's strong,
yeah.
but it's like if you roll well normally, it's like it's a waste of points. It wasn't coming into play as much as I wanted to. That's why I took it off.
Okay.
Still the Skink Priest on the Palanquin. Basically the same. One of the Skink captains, I had the Wildfire Bow. Took that off. That wasn't doing anything.
Okay.
And then just made him a regular. So 5 Skink captains with blowpipes and paired weapons.
Okay.
The Skink Braves are the same. The bows, with the Tree Frog banner. 2 units of 20 bows are the same. 1 unit of 15 poison javelins and shields is the same. Took the 24 Temple Guard, brought them down to 20 Temple Guard. The 2 units of 15 Skink Hunters with blowpipes, I gave them Vanguard, which to give them a little more versatility. And I added a second unit of 2 10-man Chameleon units. And then lastly, 2 Thyros
having
with the Silence.
two vanguarding units and 2 scouting units is a nice flexibility in deployment too. You can be a little bit more pushy in some deployment setups. So it's cool. You really like the concept, so you just dialed it up a little bit more poison shooting.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Let's look.
I'll be interested
Brian.
to see at the end of this if you missed the Wildfire Bow, because I think that's a kind of a cool combo. But okay.
Brian was running a Shaman General. I'm sorry. Was he the General? No, I lied. He was running a Master on Shamanism with Liger's Tongue, an Adept on Pyromancy, which is scary for me with these skinks, with the Book and the Firebrand, a Great Khan General, which you don't see very often, Destiny's Call, Paired Weapon, Touch of Greatness, Obsidian Rock Cult Leader, 8 Bruisers with the Banner Discipline, 8 Tribesmen with Skull of Kenget, I think that's how you pronounce it, 4 Tusker Cav, 2 Kitties, 5 Bombardiers, a Thunder Cannon, a Frost Mammoth, and a Giant.
This is one of everything list.
Yeah, it's a well spread out list. I think running the Master with an Adept on Ogre Cons is not very common because that's just a lot of points.
Yeah, you pay so much for the Shaman chassis that an Adept feels like a little bit of a inefficient pick. But I mean, this is a perfect example where having a Pyro Firebrand Adept, I mean, that could change this game for him, right? So
I agree.
It's not bad. Yeah.
So I want to point out in the list review, which you were not a part of, I made a prediction about my first round matchup, and I said I would kill that Slave Giant in turn 1.
Yeah.
We'll see if that actually happens.
Okay, you've got the tools.
So
I mean, this is an interesting. What would you say, like, green, yellow, red, orange, etc. What would you say that matches to you?
I think it's a green. I think pretty much a green to maybe a yellow, but I'd say a green. He's just got the monsters that my poison do well. The Pyro Adept is scary, but everything else is not super scary.
Okay. Yeah, I think that he's got some light shooting, the pyro adept, swarm of insects. So he's got some ways to take down your skinks, which can be a little scary. The cannon, if it lights up and takes out some, thyro, is certainly valuable. But yeah, I mean, generally ogres would struggle against lots of poison shooting because they don't really have any armor. So yeah, interesting one. I'd probably agree with you. Yeah.
So my magic setup, the Quaddle took Word of Iron, Glory of Gold, Corruption of Tin, Silver Spike, because he didn't have a lot of high armor stuff. So but I still want a Corruption of Tin to drop your armor to close to nothing. And then the Adept took Healing Waters, Hereditary, and Summer Growth.
Okay. Do you have any Flaming Banners in your?
I don't.
In your list? No. Okay.
He has the Chilling Howl on the Mammoth.
Yeah.
And then his master took Swarm of Insects, which is scary for me. Savage Fury, Break the Spirit, Totemic Summit. And then it's Pyro, Flow, Flaming Swords, Fireball.
Yeah. Flaming Swords is an interesting pick. I'm not sure. I think I would have thought maybe Cascading would have been just to like max out the damage, right? Because like half your army, more than half.
No, isn't Cascading Fire is Cascading Fire is a 5/6 spell, so you can't take it. Cascading Fire and the bubble. No.
They reversed those.
They
did do that change, and then they moved Scorching back up to a 5/6 spell, the aura. And they returned the old Cascading down to spell 2.
Wow, we might have played that wrong, or maybe he didn't take it. I don't remember. But
I mean, with like 75% of your army at Res 2, I just don't see Flaming Swords as being that valuable. But
so
anyways,
kind of. This was Dawn Assault, right? Was it Dawn Assault? Let me check real quick. No, Frontline Clash. Never mind. So he cornered a little bit. This is after Scout and Vanguard. I kind of came up the middle, and this is my response for turn 1. And we ruled this as impassable terrain here on the right.
Okay. Well, it's clear what you're doing. I guess he didn't want you to kill that giant.
And yeah, notice the giant behind the hill. There is no turn 1 giant death. Let's just put that out there now.
Brian, come on.
Yep, and my turn 1, here's my movement. I just move up and I want to start poisoning and fleeing. That's basically the name of the game here.
Yeah.
In the magic phase, I just get Corruption of Tin off on the cannon, so he is now, I think a 4-up goes to a 5-up, is that right? Or is a 3-up goes to a 4-up?
I think it's a 3. Yeah, I think it's a 3, so 4-up.
I hit him with the Silver Spike also, but I do 0. I fail the wound. That's the one problem with Silver Spike. It always, when you're going after multi-wound models with a Silver Spike, they're all either toughness 5 or 6, and there's a 50% chance or a third of a chance you're going to fail the wound.
Yeah, it feels bad if especially if you cast the big version, which I think you must have here, given the range, right? It's an expensive spell to have nothing go off, right?
Yeah.
It's a 3-dice spell. Easy.
But in the shooting phase, I kill the cannon in 1 shot. With the poison.
Yeah. What is that? That's 50 shots?
That's 15 plus to 25, 50 shots, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Bottom of turn 1, he charges both of these blocks here into both of my chameleons, which I flee with both. Nothing panics because of that. He moves his dog back over here. Where did the dog start out at? Oh, the dog was behind the hill over here.
Yeah.
Moves the dog over here, and then he just kind of starts closing the door on the right. Starts moving everything up. Move the giant out. And then and I flee with this unit also. Basically all the skirmishers flee except for this unit here.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that's because he couldn't see them with this unit, with the Bombardiers. And then the Bombardiers did not. I'm sorry, the Bombardiers did not charge. It was these two units that did all the fleeing. Bombardiers turned face to shoot these guys, kill a big chunk. I panic. I run over here. He gets Totemic Summon off. I was very unhappy about that.
Yeah.
But he
sucks for your flea move stuff, you know?
Yeah, he has a lot of stuff. He has a lot of magic I need to stop. Totemic Summon, Swarm of Insects, and all the fire spells.
Yeah, it's a tough phase for you.
Yeah. All right, so my turn. Notice 5 skinks are missing here from his breath weapon. Yeah, I forgot to get a picture of that. So I believe, yeah, this is my movement. I rally everyone. I stick out the Thyro here. I turn to face these poison javelins to try to kill the dog here. And then the bows turn around, and the Thyro turns around to try to take care of this Totemic Summon.
Did those skink hunters on the left continue fleeing, or did they rally?
No, they rallied. Everyone rallied.
Okay.
Yeah, because a cold-blooded 6 is I think it's still above 50%.
Which is the Bruiser and which is the Iron Fist unit? The Tribesman unit.
These are the Bruisers, these are the Iron Fists.
Can those Bruisers see your Thyro?
This one?
Yeah.
I think
borderline. It looks close. Okay, interesting. Anyways, go on.
There we go. Magic phase, I get Spark of Creation up on the giant, or no, for this guy, and I failed to do any wounds. I rolled a 1, I think. Silver Spike off on these guys. I failed to do any wounds. And Corruption of 10 off on these guys, which is a good thing.
It's a good get. Yeah, for sure. Especially with the blender over there.
Bottom 2, he gets Savage Fury off. Okay, so this is interesting. I didn't get an overall board. So he stuck, if you see this base right here, he stuck his dog out in front of my blender unit, and then he did Savage Fury on my blender unit to try to frenzy bait me. Which I thought was a very smart move, but it comes down to 1 dice roll, which is a cold-blooded minimized 8 rerollable.
Yeah, it's a little gimmicky, especially given all that he can do with the rest of his phase. Like I would have focused on burning skinks, you know, rather than that. Because an 8 rerollable is what, like a 90% success rate. I don't know. Anyways, okay, let's see how it works for him.
So this is interesting. You notice the dog's dead. I shot the dog dead in my turn. Bombardiers shoot off something. He turns to face, and then he also throws his... Oh, sorry, here we go. The Bombardiers killed my Chameleon unit down to 2 guys. And before that, he had moved his Adept Pyromancy Wizard out to here. And I'm not exactly sure to do the breath weapon.
Yeah.
I did not kill the Totemic Summon last turn with these 2 guys. So he random moved into my hunters that were here and killed them and overran to there.
Okay.
So I believe this is my turn. Yeah, this is top of 3. This skinks move up here to try to kill him. These chameleons are facing this way to try to kill him also. And then I move up to try to kill the Bombardiers here.
Yep.
And again, the bow skinks here turn to face to try to kill that Totemic Summon. Pretty simple move phase, yeah. Spark of Creation, I killed the dog that was here.
You passed your frenzy, obviously.
Yes, I did pass the frenzy. Thank you for pointing that out. In the magic phase, I killed that dog with Spark of Creation. Silver Spike this unit, I do a bunch of wounds. The poison and the bows kill the totemic summon. And then these poisons from these 2 units kill his Firebrand Adept, which was pretty solid for me.
It's like the single most important model in his army. I don't understand why.
I can see why going out there and trying to flame a unit of skinks is tempting, but it was putting too much on the line.
Not when you've got that many shots that can counterattack, right? I mean, I think that was a mistake for sure.
What was here? Oh, and then the rest of my shooting, I killed the rest of the bombardiers.
Brutal. That was a rough turn, Brian.
And Brian Stern, we play this as a hill, I'm sorry, on the right here.
Okay.
And Brian Stern, he continues to move up. Doesn't go for any long bomb charges. I don't give him any really easy charges. He doesn't take the bait there. He Soar of Insects my chameleons here. Takes it down to 3 guys. Ouch.
See, like, perfect example, right? Does his Shaman survive if instead of casting Savage Fury, he had done that last turn?
Yeah.
Maybe, right? I mean, that's a... I'd rather kill 7 chameleons than have a baby on an 8 rerollable.
Yeah, maybe he should have ran the Firebrand into this unit or something, because I was gonna kill the bombardiers anyway.
Yeah.
So nothing much happens this turn. He gets that off. Nothing else happens.
Okay.
So basically, at this point, I've killed all his shooting.
Yep.
So I go for the Skink Blender into the what are these guys? Razor Tusks?
Tuskers.
Tuskers. Thank you. That was my mistake. With the 1 tick of Corruption Tin on them. I feel pretty confident about that fight. And then my Temple Guard go into his big block. I fail the charge with the Temple Guard, but I make it in with the Skinks over here. And I basically line up all my shooting on the left here to shoot into his block.
Yeah.
So, in combat, I didn't get anything in Moth of Magic. I kill all but 1 wound on him.
Whoa.
He swings back because of the Frost Mammoth here. He gets a swing with everyone that isn't killed by the characters. The characters definitely go first.
Yes.
So because of that,
it makes them effective agility 6, the Tuskers, right?
Yeah.
So, or the ogres, but yeah.
Because of that, he does a bunch of wounds to me. I think that's 12. And because of that, I win by like a few, 1 or 2, or maybe we even tie, and he sticks, which is really bad for me. I thought for sure I was gonna blow through that unit.
Yeah, the Frost Mammoth combos really, really well with the Ogre army. It directly counters what is supposed to be their greatest weakness, which is agility.
So I'm very scared now. He has a bunch of flank charges coming at me. And I think the reason why this happened was because I didn't roll well, and also in this one combat. And also I did have a bad magic phase. I didn't get any buffs off.
Yeah. If you'd had Healing Waters or something over there, that would have made all the difference.
Yeah, it would have. So hit bottom of 4. He goes into my Temple Guard here, and then goes everyone except for the Frost Mammoth that's going in the flank here. Frost, they make it in. Because I think he wants the Frost Mammoth here next to this combat to give the bonus.
Okay. Yeah.
And I skipped ahead here a little bit. I ended up killing the rest of the Tusker unit, but he breaks me, obviously, with all those attacks in the flank. But I do... He tries to pursue me with the Giant, but sticks with the Tribesman. And I outrun the Giant, which is nice. So I have a chance here.
Okay.
Here, he does a bunch of wounds to me. I think he does 8. And I do a fair chunk back to him, but we both stick.
Okay.
All right, this is top of 5. I rally my skinks on the right here, so I feel good. If that giant, now I'm out of the charge arc of the tribesman. If that giant charges me, I'll one-shot it before he swings.
Yep.
Movement phase, I have these 2 units run to his backfield to get the secondary, because he's gonna get 1 unit into my deployment. And all these skinks are just circling around and try to kill that frost mammoth. I get Word of Iron on my Temple Guard, which is nice. Oh, jeez, I'm skipping it. I am missing photos. My bad. Bottom of 5, and that's the end of the game. Let me think about this. Let me think about what happens. I remember now. So what happens in my turn is I end up breaking his... I kill a few, but his characters are still alive in his what am I trying to say? This unit here with his characters, this Death Star, he breaks from combat, goes through all of that, all my guys, takes a bunch of DTs. He goes below 25% because of that. In his turn, he fails and runs off the board.
Okay.
And here,
2,000 points.
in my shooting phase, I light up the Frost Mammoth and kill him.
Yep.
And then his tribesman unit goes for these skinks, and I think they kill him. They kill the skinks, which is fine. And then here, he charges with a giant, and I fail my terror check and run off the board.
Ah, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was painful.
Well, I guess you're out of BSB range, so that's a 7 minimized. Is that right?
6. 6 minimized.
Okay. That's bad. All right, fair enough. Well,
so,
you got a little lucky there.
And that's why in the last turn, really quick, because he lost his general and his BSB and his wizard with this unit here, which really hurt. I mean, this hurt also, but this hurt a lot more.
Yeah, sure.
So with all of that, even though I lost the Skink Blunder, I took out everything in his army except for the tribesman here. And that gives me a 19.
Oh. Good outcome. Nice.
Yeah, it was a good start to the tournament. Again, Brian was a fantastic opponent. Really great guy. I want to play him again. Not just because I beat him, but because he's a really cool guy. And yeah, it's a good start to the Wicked for me.
Very nice. Yeah. I mean, certainly a lot of good momentum. It puts you up on top tables early, which is good and also comes with its challenges. Yeah, I mean, I think that there was. I agree with you on the matchup rating, and I think that having him lose the pyro guy relatively early without taking a lot of points was a big swing.
That was a mistake for him putting the firebrand guy out in the middle of danger.
Yeah. Good game. Okay. So you want to spoil what army you're playing against in the next round?
I'm not going to tell you what army until the next video, but it is a very scary army for me. It is not who I want to be matched up against. But we will get to that next battle report. Everyone, if you liked, please like and subscribe. And everyone have a good evening.
Thanks, everybody.